Now we look at this grand final. We continue down the path that we're on, and boom, with a one-map advantage you go. It's time to step the heck up if you are Isurus.
It's time to start, and we will. We'll be getting right into the action trace. What is a real worry is, let's set the scene for Isurus, right? We talk about this map being okay for them. That's because they have a lot of close games, but those are close losses. Since playing it this year, they've only won one game versus the Red Canids, and they've had 4 OT losses. Sorry,
Get ready.
3 OT losses and a 30-round loss. Close games, but close doesn't cut it here at the road to Rio. It's all about the wins. Boom, they're a map up in the series. They're looking for that 2-0. It might be around the corner.
Yeah, it just might be in the hype, though. It's right here with us. All your Pepe Jammers are all appreciated, of course, if you look at the GG.bet odds. While we appreciate GG.bet, I'm sure the Isurus fans are reeling in that number. Here we go. Start the pistol round off strong.
Yeah, but for who is the question? The trades are in. It seems to be the side of Isurus for a second before Boom immediately put it back into a 2-on-2 with split players taking fights on the A site. Bolt is out and about. He's got no support, though. Oh, dear, those USPs can be terrifying at such a range, but he's caught a player out of position. Trade is imminent, but Deco now knows this man's on the site. He can try and duck dive and get towards B. Instead, he'll just win the battle. 3 kills for Fur, and that certainly will get the job done.
Phelps. But yeah, Boom. They got that pistol.
That's a great, great analyst point, Harry. You know, this is why our death segments are so strong.
Yeah, it's true.
With things like that.
I was just correcting.
No,
That's all.
I think you said Fur.
Yeah.
Did I say Fur?
Yeah,
you did say Fur, and then me and Harry looked at each other like,
I understand because
yeah.
I wondered for a minute, but then I realized, you know, Phelps, Fur, their names both start with
We've
F and E.
casted so much MIBR.
That's true.
This month. My bad, yeah.
No, it's all good. You know.
just don't ever let it happen again.
Yeah.
All right?
We will be having a word. We will be having a word. Now, Isurus, they might be having words of their own in this round. They've gone for an investment. They've taken a partial buy. And they're going to set up down here towards the ramp. Very heavy presence lies in wait if they do try and go any further. Reversive is probably going to be pretty content, though, with this much control. You don't have to go a crazy amount further ahead than this. So he'll just hold here. Now, bait and switch set up between him and Noxy. They actually do decide to go creeping forward, but only good for 1 kill. However, the kill they get is on the bomb. And so that's enough to pull an early rotation over. Noxy gets dealt with. Phelps actually even removing Lynx there through the triple box. Deco in 1962, once again, are the 2 players left to try and see this round through to the very end. And they might. But it might not be the end they were hoping for. Yell is 1 step ahead, holding the cinder blocks. Puts that conversion on the board for Boom. And now no money for Isurus means this should be the 3-0 start we were looking for.
Yeah, and the breaking news that Fur has joined. No, I'm kidding. That is certainly not the case. That is Hugo Byron, in case anybody wants to point fingers. I'm kidding. Don't point fingers at him. He's a good lad. Albeit a little Paul-like in his exoskeleton, but here we are nonetheless.
I'm a lizard in a human suit, Trace. That's all I am.
A human suit?
Yes.
Interesting.
It's like the new wolf in sheep's clothing. Lizard in a human suit. And
well, then what is the, never mind, forget it. Just let's get out of here. Yeah. Bolt's getting absolutely overwhelmed here on the A ramp, and it's reversive. It's going to make him wish he put it in reverse and back that thing up.
Well, he's done exactly that with the AK. He has retreated towards a spawn. Quite the escape. Cello is stuck in the window. He can't break that vent, but he's going to hope that Isurus do it for him. They probably won't. They're rotating B, and he's just going to smash it open and deliver death upon them. A player hiding inside of B has not been checked, but the AK has been cut off on rotation. And oh dear, Deco's dropped the bomb. He's got a chance to make things interesting. No more than 1. Lynx late to the party, but here, maybe to clutch it out. Nope. Denied. And Shiz with a double.
Look at all the damage Deco did right there. There was a world where he gets the kill in the Shiz, and then guess what? That's a real Aki Momo. But we are full of those here on this desk, and I can assure you that. Isn't that right, Harry Russell?
What, Aki Momos?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this is even one right now.
As you fell out of your chair, I see. Nice.
Yeah, I guess. Sure. I'm still in it. I'm still fine. But let's see, right? Lynx has got the AWP, and now this is where we can get excited. This is where we can start to have some fun in this game now as the investment is back in for Isurus. Lynx looking over in top mid. My goodness, Bolts has just deleted the first man over here at the A site. Lynx is now looking to follow up in response to this. It's reversive. creeping down through ramp to come in on a bit of a flank. Bolts has got a good read on this. That nade, I thought it was going to do far more damage, but it just does 1. Because, you know, nades are 10 out of 10 and not broken. However, it doesn't matter because Phelps has dealt with a man down in connector. As they go towards B, I think Boom were hoping this was going to force a bit of a rotate, right? With them getting a kill over at the A side of the map and in connector. But that hasn't happened. And that's because of this aggression down through ramp from Reversive. But it could prove to be a double-edged sword. If he doesn't get to the apartments in time, they can cross down through connector and hit this A bomb site. And he might have realized this as an opportunity a little too late. They rotate away from the apartments. They boost the man up into window, but they've still left their options open. They can really go anywhere at this point in time on this side of Boom, as long as they can get past Deco. And right now, he is decking them. He's on 4, on for the ace. Yell left up in the 1v2 and is lost down here in the lower tunnels. Also won't be aware that Reversive is pushed into the apartments earlier on and is now set up inside of the B bomb site.
The biggest worry is the time. Yeah, he's got to start running, right? That gives away his position. And Reversive, there's almost no way he loses his round as a result. As long as the gun is pulled out, and it is just about, he'll get the free AWP as well. Yell couldn't walk that one. He didn't have time to do so coming in from the underpass. And so it's going to be the pickup for Isurus. Great round from Deco. 4 kills off that AUG as well. Getting it done with scoped AUG is also a surprise. You know, that gun... I've never been an AUG user, but I've had a bit of a fiddle since the changes. And you can see right there how unscoped is really good now. But scoped up, I found was awful. Obviously, you know, you got to learn the full spray pattern, but it's really inaccurate. So props to making it work. Molotov up mid. Phelps is still here, and he's ready for the push. He's seen the shadow. He's got the info, and he's got the kill. Noxy didn't fully clear this position before he attempted to back off, and he will pay the price. Boom. Man advantage in this round. 3-1 lead. Looking to break the money right back of Isurus, and this round would certainly do that. One thing it's worth noting for all you Isurus fans out there is losing this grand final doesn't mean they're eliminated from the running to the Road to Rio, the major title. Of course, there are going to be multiple tournaments run this year to decide who will be making it to Rio. And those tournaments are going to replace the minors. It's going to be 3 over the course of 2020. And this is the first. And with each tournament, the points climb, the importance climbs.
And while we're doing housekeeping of the rules, etc., I've seen a couple of people asking questions about agent skins. Now, this is following the Valve rule set for majors, right? So they're allowed.
Yes.
Because Valve love an agent skin.
And so do all the people playing matchmaking. And let me tell you about how evil that can become. But right after this, Shiz on a nice deeg there, a deco of a shot.
Oh dear, they're going to win this round. He's got him trapped. That's a big kill. 90-62, holds onto the bomb and leaves Bolt in a clutch. But low HP on Lynx, luckily hits a shot straight away with the AWP. And 2 for each of these players. Isurus will find their second round on the board. A must-win round if they wanted to maintain the economy on this CT side. And if anything, it's done them a great service. It's broken booms and left them with 2K a player.
Yeah, this is already a much better start from Isurus, and a couple of key players showing up actually could really bode well for them here, right? Deco having a hell of a beginning in this game. Reversive keeping up appearances. Deco, that is just a straight spam into the apartment. Cool. So, all right.
Back, of course.
If I'm Yell, I'm a little bit salty after that one, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. It's only pistols in this round. Bolts is going to make quick work of Noxy, but surely he should get laid to rest soon. Come on, no. This can't be how it happens. Phelps is deeg down 1. And there's even been a kill found with a Glock. Oop. Oop.
Oh,
come on, there we go. Phelps has removed another. Deco, he's done a hell of a lot to start this round. Now he's got to be the man to end it as well. Now he has got a temporary one-on-one, but it doesn't really matter how many players he had to face there because it's all gone in favor of Boom, and I don't really know how, but
I was questioning some of the Deagle buys in that round because Boom, like, the only player with money was Phelps. He had 3K. Bolts and Shiz buy Deagles, but that puts him on 1,500. And, like, obviously you can buy up an AK with armor next round, but you're not going to have a lot of util behind it. So I'm thinking, like, oh, this is risky if they don't get kills with it. And, well, they get more than kills, Harry. They get the round.
And it's the Phelps 1962 fight there on Catwalk that got a little squeaky, a little sweaty.
Yeah. 1962, man. He really has had some rough games. And yeah, I mean, that's not boding well for Isurus in this series with him getting 8 kills on the previous map. Right now he's on 2 and 5. But we are early days into this one. And Isurus, well, they haven't had really much winning on Mirage. They've had a lot of overtimes, a lot of 30-round games, and 1 victory over the Red Knids, who got 0-3'd in this group. They were actually, funnily enough, the only team that were able to take a map off of Boom in their initial best of 3s. Isurus have yet to do that, but they're looking for it now. The Eagles are out for the CT side, and maybe the Pistols are the solution for both these teams. 3 kills, blink, and you miss it. The B site's open, though. If Boom get control of this, that could be massive, but the bomb has been lost at top of middle.
Oh, no. It's happened again.
What?
Yeah, Shiz has got a 1v5 ace this. Now, I don't want to say it, but we did see Fallen with like anti-eco 1v5 ace, and yeah, maybe it's just a Brazilian thing to have happen. So let's see, can Shiz live up to the standard that MIBR's Fallen has set? If I was a betting man, I would say no, but let's see. I'd love for him to prove us wrong. First man down. Still 4 more standing, a long ways away from making this field doable, but he still has time to play with. The thing is, Isurus, if they just group up, there shouldn't be a way that he can isolate these fights. It's going to have to be something nuts. Now, he spots a man over here in mid, and likewise, he's been spotted by the man in mid, so almost gets a temporary one-on-one onto Noxy.
Yeah, he's looking for a fight so eagerly. They just will not give it to him, so props to Isurus. With 30 seconds left on the round, he's got to watch just about every single angle. He needs 360-degree security in this moment because he's going to be saving in jail. And I don't mean locked up. I'm talking about the former call-out for that.
Go to jail. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go. And he won't because no money as you save on the T side. So, well, what would have been more than $200 is stripped from the bank accounts of Shiz, but he will at least have a gun in that follow-up round. I imagine here if you're Boom, you just fully buy and you commit to this because your money is garb on 2 guys. So you want to kind of level the playing field. You want everyone on 0, and then you can continue to rebuild your cash with the loss bonus if needed. That's assuming they don't win a force buy, because think about this. The last 2 rounds have been Pistols winning. That for Isurus, the round prior for Boom's Deegs and Glocks. Warp has been given to Yell. Big investment from Cello. He just completely cripples any chance of him having a weapon in this round to drop that gun over, but it could be worth it. Boost up for Shiz, puts Yell on top of his head, and he actually does get that cross shot onto Noxy there. We saw it from Shiz's perspective, but Yell was above the Molotov and finds a leg shot. So there is damage done early by the AWP, and now Isurus know it's in play. They've got to be very careful with that ramp position.
Bolts was able to provide a couple of big kills from the Palace in the last one of these rounds for Boom, but he doesn't have that trusty Deeg with him this time. Instead, he's onto the CZ. So he might be the bait to the switch up of Yell, right? If you send Bolts in fast to try and get out, he's going to draw the attention of these players in the site away. And at the very, very least, that's information. And look, there you go. That's what you wanted. He gets into the site safely, and now the attention is on Bolts. And this gives Yell, still up in Palace with that AWP, a bit more room to breathe. The bomb plant here for Boom is fantastic, as now it puts Isurus on the clock, and you can try and use these pistols at the closer ranges to set up the rest of the gang and start to upgrade your arsenal. With every kill, you can upgrade your weaponry, but here's a flank from Deco that certainly won't go unnoticed. Yell is left in the clutch. A 1v2 required. They throw the smoke in. He's got to try and go out round it, and Reversive has his number. Defuse going to come on in. There we go. Well, said it, and I was like, should, and it is. There we go. 4th round on the board for Isurus. They keep that under control. A bomb plant for Boom is pretty stellar, right, as like a bare minimum. It lets them bring out some pistols into this round before the buy in the next. Yeah. You can also see Yell save some money, look to go for the AWP buy, which I imagine is going to be the decision here for this Boom squad.
Yeah. One thing that also transpires is Boom get rid of all those AKs. Isurus picked up 3 AKs after that USP round win, and now, you know, surviving with 2, they choose to save the double AWP, which of course is great. You know, there's some important weapons to have on the CT side of Mirage, but, you know, No more AKs, at least. And Boom don't have to worry about those one-shot headshots, assuming they have the armor. Well, they won't in this round with an eco coming through and Isurus with a short pause, but next round, regardless, will be armed and dangerous for the side of Boom. But don't count them out of these ecos, because we've already seen them go that way for either of these guys. And they have a little bit more to work with than the flat Glocks and 2-3 Deegs in the last time. Some utility on Yell and Phelps, and a bit of Kev as well.
And it looks like it might just be a B commitment from Spawn with everyone bar Phelps. He's going to head over towards mid and look to try and take his advantage here. Now, if he at least makes noise, it could lead to this B site being a little bit vulnerable, but instead of making noise, he actually makes space for Isurus by giving up the man advantage. Link shuts down a player on the cross, and this AWP will just keep on holding the line, knowing that more players have to try and run the gauntlet. Oh, the bomb got dropped, and Yell actually had to go back to try and get his hand on it. That's easy for Lynx. They offer up the shooting gallery, and he'll take it. A 5th round on the board for Isurus now, but an investment coming through for Boom after these ecos finally draw to a close.
Yeah, good anti-eco though, regardless for Isurus. They keep 5 alive, and that's exactly what you want with the double AWP, keeping the money nice and available. Means when Boom eventually break the streak and get back on the T side, Isurus will still be able to rebuy without worries of being put down to an economical disaster. Deco, he misses the catch jump, so he's going to just safely retreat through the connector. Flashes certainly deny him from getting aggressive there, and the aggression's coming out of the A site as Boom pushed quick through the ramp with the contact play. Deco got a hold from the connector, playing the above angle to watch Palace, but instead gets some leg shots onto Bolts, who jumps stair side. Versive waiting in the spawn and being fight to win as well, puts Isurus in a good position to retake.
Oh, and Phelps gets cut down on his own over in middle. Yell is now entrusted with the entirety of this round, and it's all on his shoulders now. They have him trapped over here at the back of the site, but they don't actually know his whereabouts just yet. They'll tap the bomb. That hasn't baited the peak. Yell. Oh, he's got a little bit of time to work with First Man, but not able to follow up. The defuse held, and Isurus putting another on the board. The double AWP's maintained. And this is a much more convincing looking Isurus squad than the one we had back on Nuke. This is the Isurus I hoped we were going to see. And now we get them, albeit a little bit delayed here on Mirage. This is the squad that I think now could give Boom a bit of a run for their money. I'm liking it, right? We got all the pieces of the puzzle. Deco putting up some big numbers with that AUG. Lynx coming in clutch with the AWP as well. And those are the two names that we were kind of wanting to see even more from, and that we spoke about a hell of a lot coming into this series.
Yeah, Boom stalling the buy, and I was wondering if they were going to go for it. They will commit. It's very easy to justify investing on, especially you know, a map like T-side Mirage, where you can get away with the bare minimum. You can get a smoke double flash and be absolutely fine to really make it work. And you can see, a couple of players aren't going to have a util really by any standard, but it's not really a worry. This is a decent buy. It is, of course, going to mean no AWP, but with 2 on the other side, you could get a free one. We'll see if that's the case. Smoke in the window and a run boost to follow. Boom have control of the middle area. Isurus, of course, can force flashbangs back into this position if they want, but no need to when these AWPs can just post up and wait for fights. Lynx is very fast on this Boom Zanger. They'll push the molly, and he won't see anyone for now. Boom, good control. They set up players in connector for this mid-split. They take the bomb back towards T-spawn, and it's just going to be another one of these A-crunches for Boom, with Noxy and Reversive here to stop them. That's a great grenade.
Yep, even better shot from Reversive. Follows that grenade up just properly. Boom need to grab this round. They don't have a whole lot of cash reserves, so this little bit of freedom of movement they've been given towards jungle is about to come to a close. Noxy certainly did not let Cello out into the site, and he's not the only one that's getting boxed out. Just Phelps left in a 1v4. And I say that, Noxy putting him down, with the AWP.
Yeah, good patience as well, right? Like you see, he doesn't realize they got out that connector smoke. They walked through it as it faded to jungle, and Noxie's watching, double scoped for the connector, and then he sees a barrel, and instead of just instantly shooting at the arms or rushing the fight and maybe giving away his position, he really stalls this one out. You can see he's really patient, and that's impressive. Not only getting that kill, but comming the information to Reversive, who was under balcony, kills the second player. So yeah, just no problem for Isurus. A stellar CT defense. They're putting up rounds. They're keeping players alive, and this A site again back in for Boom. They're so obsessed with it. Will it finally do them some justice, do them some service?
I mean, let's see, right? The opening kill found by Lynx, so it doesn't look like it initially, but now that they get this smoke down, they can start to try and pressure him a bit more. They deep flash into CT, and Cello was hoping to get a kill from that, wasn't able to follow up as Isurus have already backed on up. 3 players about to head Cello's way. Is he ready for this orchestra around the other side? Certainly not. This Banda brother's been practicing now as they get out towards the CT spawn.
Okay.
Shiz does remove one with the Deagle. Even more damage done, and the Tech-9 of Yell now coming to life. This was not meant to be a Boom round, but there's so little time left. The bomb is not planted for ramp, however. They tap it, Bolts goes out through the smoke, and they get the kills required. It gets close, but not close enough. Isurus will take an 8th round.
The reason that round is so well played for Isurus because Lynx gets a first pick out ramp as Boom just go for a fast play. And what they do straight after that is something Isurus have been doing every single time they play CT spawn, which is immediately back up to the spawn point, fall completely out of the A site and give Boom A. Then Boom throw the smokes in, they commit to the plant, they have a 5-on-4, and Isurus just group. They wait for those B players to come off of market, go CT, and then the next fight in the CT spawn is 3 CTs versus 1 T with an AK. Isurus just use the numbers to their advantage, and staying alive and waiting till you're grouped is such a safe way of playing that retake. It certainly helped with the man advantage, but good decision making from Isurus on this map so far. Very close shot from Noxie, but the smoke eludes him, and Phelps will dodge this position, go back towards T spawn. Again, Boom, they want that A site, and they're going to go for the smokes over it as well. Reversive is inside, though, once again looking to put up a fight.
Oh, the flash is good to bait the shot from Deco at the very, very least. Reversive almost gets tagged through the top of Palace there. The spam from Cello actually almost finds it. They weren't able to finish the job, and so while they've bought 2 players low, this isn't going to win you the round. Also, look at 1962, man. Look at him go on the map. He's all the way through the B apartments. This is the problem with Boom just going A pretty much in every single one of these rounds. Now Isurus are looking to exploit this freedom over towards B. And so at the very, very least, 1962's information is going to allow for an extra man over here at the A bomb site. However, Noxie hasn't even begun to rotate rounds yet. This flank is still coming in from 1962. That's something that Boom are going to have to bear in mind till later in the round. Noxie missing that shot on the player trying to cross. The A site has been taken, but this is where the flank could tear everything apart. We've been waiting all round for it to show its head, and now it finally does. And even with just 1 kill, it's the delay and the stalling of this bomb plant that it's caused that might just tear the round away from Boom. Phelps, there is absolutely no way he can win this one out. And a 9th on the board for Isurus. 1962's flank does it all with 3 kills going his way. We wanted to see more from him, and there it is. He takes the initiative, comes in on that flank, and solidifies this lead in a very, very big way towards the end of the first half.
But not just in this round, but just in this game generally, 1962 has stepped up. And that can be hard as a Bianca player. Luckily, he's not had to deal with many rushes there, and it's often just been retaking the A site as a unit. Well, that is a great round for him on the flank. And you put it perfectly, Harry. He gets that first kill, and then he just kind of tucks, and he starts jiggling, he starts wasting time. Noxie finds an AWP pick in the middle. Boom, maybe trade a couple of frags out, but as soon as they try and go for the plant with 15 seconds, that's when 1962 goes out wide again and kills them during the animation. So, yeah, just really good stuff, and a great display of patience on the CT side from the entirety of Isurus. They've not been rushing the fights, and as a result, have been putting up a lot of rounds. It's going to be 7 in a row for Isurus.
Yeah, and a good half for him, too. We're looking towards the end of this half, which ultimately will cause Boom to switch over to the CT side. Now, you got to look. Is Isurus going to have an answer for that?
I mean, B almost feels obvious at this point for Boom, right? They've gone A 6 or so rounds in a row, and now they have no one outside of A apart from Bolts and the Palace, who really can't throw much utility, can't be too much of a nuisance here on that A site. Trying to sell a bit of a B fake here, but the bomb is there. Cello's still lurking mid. They're not going to commit until they find another kill. They're hoping Isurus overplay their hand, but this close peek, oh, the jump, it's excellent. Cello predicts that well, and he doubles up. Big A kills. The bomb is going to leave now. They don't need to go B, as the rotations are going to be forced by Isurus.
And every shot connects for Isurus, right? It was looking like this was about to get out of hand, and then in the blink of an eye, 1962 and Lynx putting up a kill between them have turned this back in the advantage of the Argentinian side.
The entire time since those kills came through for Cello, B's been open. Isurus just left it. So if Boom actually committed to what they were doing all round long, which was having 2-3 players in the apartments, they would have likely won that round. Isurus didn't even consider playing B after Cello got those kills. So Boom, their rotations were actually taking longer than the rotations of Isurus, and therefore they walked into players no matter where they went. So, yeah, it would have been nice to see Boom commit with that. I can see why you wouldn't want to, but Isurus had no reason to believe that was a B play with how this half has been going on, how many rounds have ended up on this A site, and especially with Cello getting 2 kills so quickly there. It's going to leave Boom in a bit of a panic for the last round of the half and force buying. I wonder what site they're going to go to, Harry.
Well, the answer might surprise you. It's A, but Isurus, they stacked B. That's kind of hilarious.
That's fine, though. They can play retake. It's what they've been doing all game long.
Yeah, right. And on top of that, you kind of understand the thought process. Even they're thinking, there's no way they just go A this entire first half. And yet here they are going A this entire first half. So bomb now down, and Reversive sneaking out through CT, catches Bolts unaware. Yell. Ooh, it's ugly, it's gross, but the Mac-10 not enough. It is finished off by Phelps with the Galil. Cello needed a ramp, sprays, does take down the first, and the bomb defuse gets denied, but it's only briefly. Isurus gonna grab that one, 3K from Lynx to put an 11th round on the board. Isurus, they make this look doable. They're trying to take us to Inferno, and we might just get there if they can keep this up. Find out how this second map of Mirage rounds out after a quick break, so stick around.
And it's a stark contrast to what we witnessed in the first map of play. Isurus here are certainly running the table, running the board in 11-4 first half. Now we're going to get to see them switch sides, which ultimately leaves us to ask the question, can Boom still end this in 2, or are we going to that third map? I've got Harry and Hugo here to help us decide, to help us guide you through what is this grand final for the South American region.
Yeah, we got to start, and we got to start now because this B play is fast and ferocious from Isurus. Phelps in with 1 in response, but the site is already crumbled, and it's overrun now by the Isurus side. Shiz does remove 1 here with his USP to turn the advantage back in favor of Isurus, but look at Deco, look at him go into the backline, into the market, and he's not looking to make a purchase. He's looking for good returns, and he's going to get that in that round. 12-4 as the pistol round goes in favor of this T side. Really to make up where I was going with that metaphor, as I was saying. However,
that's most of our metaphors.
I think it all came together quite nicely, as did that B offensive from the Isurus side. I love everything about that.
Yeah, it's nice to see the B side for a change as well. Didn't really get much of that at the start.
Holiday.
You can see the cogs whirring in Deco's brain, right? He sees like 3 players in the doorway for the market and just goes round and flanks the window. It's such a smart heads-up play. Gets behind them all. And now it's going to be Boom. Backs up against the wall. Force in at the second of the half. It's a one-way smoke for Yell, but he is already smoked off, so he's got to wait that initial one out before this one provides any value. He's a patient man, though, so we'll sit back and wait. Don't think he'll get rewarded with no one really fighting middle. That grenade is decent. Let's have a little update with Yell and see if his smoke's doing any wonders for him. Apparently not. It's ultimately useless, and a Molotov backing keeps him out of middle. So Boom, they have no information, they have no control, and they've just got to give it the way of Isurus. It's down to winning the fights inside of the site. Reverse is at least putting pressure on B early on. The bomb will be joining him later as Isurus throw grenades into A to feign an attack.
Yeah, mid completely exposed and completely in control for the side of Isurus.
Oh, Boom, no.
Yeah, Boom have to know because this hit's coming into the B site. It's coming in with a fast pace. Deco finds 2 before, well, the rest of that Boom shows up. Yeah, with some huge scout shots. Holy smokes. This is a chaotic round, all things considered. Now down to a 2v1, 1962 with an AK. Flash, and of course, trying to get out of dodge with 46 HP. He's going to have to win these 2 fights. Will they give it to him one-on-one? Nope. Cello and company are going to get it done.
Yeah, really nice shots from Yao. I want to see them again. He just absolutely shreds Isurus 1 by 1 as they come into the site. Look at this third one. Look at the flick. Whoa! Boop. Smart stuff. Boom. On the board, they find a force buy win. That's something. They'll take it. Come back. You know, this is where it begins. This is where their journey starts. But we'll see how long-lived it will be, or if Isurus will put a quick stop to it with a force buy of their own back to the B bomb site.
And with all these B plays, Isurus, they really are thinking outside of the boombox. Starts to go pushing on up. Nade goes in. Isurus now churned up by that grenade from Bolts. They do, however, get 2 kills and open up the site. For Yell, he's in a bit of an awkward spot because he wants to get stuck in. He wants to try and deny this site control, but he was alone briefly, so he tries to slow down, and we watch as 1962 cuts down his teammate before his very eyes. They know that there's a man wrapping around as well. Cello's not been discreet about it, but he has picked up that first kill. Lynx is now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Lynx not able to deal with Cello. A nice attempt, right? He does a good job of isolating that one engagement that he's able to get, right? He was stuck in the site, so a decision to go towards Car, completely understandable as he tries to deal with Cello, but the MAC-10 not up to the task of outclassing the AK. And now a 6th on the board for Boom. Still a long way to go before this comeback is going to feel like a reality, but at least for the time being, they've set themselves up with a bit of an easier path, right? Not much money for Isurus in this one, likely going to be a partial buy at best. And so you would hope, but I say it pretty tenuously, that this should be a 7th round for Boom. However, as we've seen, the pistols have been stellar in this game.
Or better put, the Anticos have been dire in this game.
I'm not saying.
For both sides, though, that's why it's great. I can say that without feeling bad because, well, they've all had rocky instances. Boom, will they close the gap here? This is what they should do, as Harry said, and right now they are doing it. So things are going to plan. The bomb has been dropped, the connector's been cleared, and it's all about Noxy coming in late through the spawn. Can flash a fight if he wants, but probably just go with the element, the surprise. Surprise! Shallows there. Boom, they've got a 7th round. They're back on the board. 3 in a row. Starting strong on this CT half. Of course, Isurus, though, they have money for days, and they will be coming right back in with a rifle round.
That they will. But for Boom, they want to keep the pressure on. They know they had that map in their pocket from the first map of the series of Nuke, and they definitely don't want to let it slip away to Inferno. So here we go. Phelps with a big mid pick right from the beginning, going to get himself out here, and he's not alone. They're going to put a lot of pressure on this mid side. Meanwhile, it's Isurus. They're going to jump right off into him. That creates a little bit of an interesting situation, almost a double there, but Cello with a response. 1962 had it all day, had it in the bag, but now this round really has fallen apart. Isurus, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And Deco should be going down momentarily. There you have it. He was very low. There was no way he was really set up to win that round, just Lynx. And we saw him do some pretty cool trick shots the other day. Not quite at 360, but still some style points. He tries to stay alive here on this A site with the bomb in hand. The flash, well, that's gonna let him know. He spams exactly where he's hiding out. Tetris bounces back, finds one. Again, another style point. Can he actually land 3? Not today. Not today, Lynx.
Yeah, Yell, I mean, I love the patience to not peek with a flash, but maybe in that instance, it loses Boom more players than the alternative. If he peeked into that spray, he probably would have got the kill. But obviously playing it safe, right? You know, that player was just spamming his general position. He knew he climbed up the balcony because he heard the ladder. But still around for Boom, albeit a close one. With a single player surviving, it means money is on the edge moving forward. And, well, Isurus trying to capitalize. They can't. Only pistols. Make the best of a bad situation, but Boom is certainly catching up in this game. Cello looking for a little bit more in middle as well. There's finally the Deagles coming alive for Isurus as Noxy drops Yell in the connector.
And you can bet he did not see that coming.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, dude, totally original content here.
Yeah, I bet he was yelling when he died.
Okay, well, that one was actually really bad.
That was the intention.
That is derailed.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Hugo Byron, of course.
Hugo loves cringe humor. That is his niche.
Yeah, and it's almost like sometimes we can't tell if he's doing it on purpose or if this is just kind of how he operates.
I like to keep you on your toes, Trace.
Well,
listen
up, Paul. Let's get back into the Counter-Strike.
Speaking of being on your toes, Cello has got to be light on his feet here, right? He gets in through the lower tunnels, but he doesn't know this yet. He is sandwiched. He is the filling between these two bits of bread here. Now, he has made the decision to get out, and he's played that to perfection. He takes a man advantage for Boom, and then he's like, yeah, that's cool. I'm happy with this. And he kind of knows it's probably going to be a B play at this point in time. I kind of figured we'd start to see a few more players cheat their way on round and lean over towards this B site, but Boom left it for the retake, and with another kill going in their favor, this is very justifiable. They play it safe. That nade could actually do enough damage on its own, but not quite. However, the plant is all Isurus muster from that one, a 9th now on the board for Boom. This is where it starts to get scary. You know, Isurus, they looked real good coming into this second half. They took the first one by storm. And now, Boom's starting to grind their way back into it. This is where the nerves start to play into it, right? Yeah. You think back to that Isurus Imperial game yesterday, and in the first map, it was Isurus to reach map point first. And then you kind of saw that the nerves taken over, it felt like, you know, a couple of hesitations, a few, like, choice decisions that didn't really add up, and just kind of, you know, maybe the pressure getting to Isurus. That same thing can start to happen here, but magnified even more, because this was a huge lead for Isurus in a grand final over Boom, and now it's starting to turn against them, and they don't want all of these rounds, all of these stellar plays to be for nothing in this series. So if they don't turn it around soon, they might not be able to turn it around at all. The clock's ticking for Isurus.
There's a triple B setup right now. They are just beginning to rotate it, but Phelps is going to hang around in the market with these smokes coming down. Combine the fact that there's a player on the site, in Cello on the Cat, Boom are in the right place at the right time. But Isurus have pulled the brakes. They've yanked the ejector seat, and they're going to head down lower instead.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those bail switches. You don't want to get it snagged up on your coat or something.
No.
Get really thrown out. Meanwhile, Noxy has found his way through the underpass, and a lot of utility being exchanged, or better yet, used from the side of Isurus towards this B site.
Nice.
And what's that going to do? That's going to draw a lot of attention. That's going to give Noxy that freedom of movement that he was so looking for. Cello, on the other hand, running a bunch of fights he might not have even won it. 2v3, I say that in Deco. Well, don't mess with the Deco, because he's got some bullets for you. Bolts. He's going to be the last one to take the bit of that wrath, and my goodness, what a round from Isurus. Show of force.
Yeah, I love that fake, right? There's so much utility, just almost waves of it into B. They throw set smokes, they throw flashes. It looks like a fake because they stop. Then they throw in more, and all the time this is going on, we've got those initial B players that threw those 2 smokes, walking underpass, boosting window, and flanking market, catching Boom. So focused on that B bomb site. Phelps even considered it. He even checked his backline for a second, only to go back to watching B apps because of the second wave of util. It's a nice double fake, the old pump and dump into the B bomb site, and now they're just going to be pumping the gas fast into the catwalk. Noxy is already up and about. Phelps is kind of caught in lower right now, and he's got nowhere to go. Bomb going to leave B as Isurus wants to do the same again. Pressure on this site early, only to end on an A split. But I think Boom know this one's going on because Bolt has pushed all the way through. They've just got to be scared of Noxy. That's the X factor in this round. It's the flanks that have been the problems for Boom. It's the player coming in from under, lurking in the window. The Bolt is ready. He's the one flanking them right now, catching 1962 in the apartments, and now Isurus have to commit to B. A rather, sorry.
I love that read from Noxy, right? He sees the kill and immediately knows, okay, that's the guy pushing B. I have a timing, and he catches that timing brilliantly. And now, on the back of him securing B, they try and rotate the bomb back, but that decision can make this whole round fall apart. If Noxy goes down to Phelps, who's wrapped onto him, then oh dear, you've left A to go towards a site that you assumed you owned, and that was not the case. Deco and Lynx now 2-on-3. This round was looking like plain sailing here for Isurus, but the waters have gotten choppy, and they've got to try and right their wrongs. They need their second wind here as they start to approach their way up through the catwalk. Still 2 players back at the B bomb site. One of those going to be Phelps, who was the undoing of this flank. He spots the players as well. Yell going to move into position. Rotation coming in from Shiz, and Yell domes the first man. Deco trying to pick up the pace. He gets one to the back. A 10th round for Boom. They reach double digits and they salvage that round.
So many flanks, so many lurks for Boom, and that under control for Phelps is so good because it allows him to come late in. It looked like he wanted to bail, but instead of doing so, he just rejoins B. He gets back in the apartments, and like you said, Harry, he basically wins that round for Boom because he kills the player inside of the site. Noxy thought he had it under control, but not for long.
Now, do we think that they would have had the A side? Do we think they could have even won the round if they just would have committed?
I mean, there were 2 players there, so like, you know, obviously it's not the best situation. You know, you can't really tell. Sometimes the shots hit, sometimes they don't, but they made the right call. That's the issue. They made the right call with the information they had to rotate B there. They wanted to go A, but Noxy makes the decision going, okay, guys, I have a free kill in B. I hear him running towards me. I'm going to get this frag, throw you an A, come join me. And that did at least keep Boom on A for a long time, but they worked it out by the end of things. And now, double digits to their name, and Isurus back in the game. They're leaving the taking the bomb back through spawn. Once again, maybe a late to B play. Ooh.
Yeah, now we get to see that, right? In through the apartments they go. Bolts is here, and Phelps has just rotated on round to help hold the line. Are they going to be able to do it between the 2 of them? Phelps is immediately shut down. Bolts now, oh, not ready for Lynx to run the gauntlet and take him down up close and personal. And now Noxy in through the apartments. Going to start to arrive and help his teammate out. In the meantime, Shiz is wrapping down in through lower, very sneaky. That is up until he reaches the apartments, and now bomb planted, Boomer on the clock. Shiz is going to spot Noxy and does just about best him. Lynx is now alone in the 1v2. This is going to be a huge clutch if he's able to pick it up. But the odds are stacked against him. He's trying to isolate these gunfights. Boom, they've got to start to pick up the pace at some point soon. And they try and send Yell in through the window. Damage done by Lynx. They have him trapped, but that might not matter. Back against the wall, and that's where he looks to do his best work yet. Lynx with a 1v2 and 4 kills in the round to put a 14th on the board for Isurus.
The biggest problem there is the retaking players for Boom. What do they have? They have a market AWP, and they have a low HP player in the apartments that is known about. So who do you even send first there? They hold for so long because they're waiting for that Lynx to make a mistake, for him to walk into one of their lines of sight, but he just doesn't. And at that point, boom, their hand is forced. They have to commit. They have the advantage, but it didn't really feel like they were the favored ones there because of the position from Lynx. So really good clutch from him, and it's put Isurus back on the board. It's been a while, but a 14th round on the T side that has broken the money of Boom at a pivotal point. Back to the A side play. We got a double under lurk. This is going to get information, but nothing more for Boom. They're going to be cordoned out of the site. Even with the kit, the chance of you winning this retake is almost impossible unless your site players hold the line.
Yeah, what can they do? Yell has this Deagle, and he's got to deliver something spectacular with it. Flashes go over, and he is trapped. Gets damage off, but not quite the kill. Shuz gets run down as well. And this one could definitely be going the way of Isurus. Bomb plant coming on in. Cello is wrapping in through the ramp. Right now, I feel like he's the man feeling a lot of the pressure to deliver in this round if Boom want to pick it up. Arm with only a CZ. It's a tall order. Does drop the first, but he gets dealt with so quickly. Phelps has worked his way very, very deep within the site, but Reversive is one step ahead, and Bolts, he knows where Reversive is, but Deco is a mystery, and he's over at ramp now. Bomb actually not planted for ramp, but with no kits, no time, Bolts just has to back away and save. Isurus 15 to 10 as they reach map pick on the map pick of Boom.
That's a lot of picks.
Yeah, I said that. I realized as I was saying it. I said pick.
It's only fair, you know, if we're harsh to Hugo for saying the complete wrong player and not even in the server, that we have to call you out as well.
That's fine.
Great round from Fallen there. Obviously, really holds its own on the A site, and yeah, you know, no Kenny S, but oh well. Wow, a 5-round comeback, that's all Boom can muster right now if they want to keep this one going. Otherwise, Inferno is just around the corner. Smoke in the window. And Boom, I mean, they're just not armed for the job, are they, right? 2 SMGs, 3 pistols in this round. It's a bit of a mixed bag. And Isurus just playing patient. They get the connector, they get mid for free. No rifles here to stop them. And it's just about gaining info for Boom. They have no idea how close 1962 is. Oh, the spray is whiffed, but he does follow up well with one. Trade is there, but Boom are about to get split upon on this A site. With that smoke down, there's nothing the Jumble players can do but rush through it, but they do find one for their troubles. Double down for Phelps. An AK gifted, and a third round. The bomb drop tumbling down the stairs, and this round has come crumbling down. Boom, they pick it up with pistols.
Good grief, some shooting going on in the server right there, Harry.
Yeah, great work from Phelps to turn that around. A round that Boom really had no business picking up. You know, it felt like that was just going to be the killing blow from Isurus, but that's not the case. Phelps is on a tear, and that's been the case throughout this entire series. Even back on Nuke, he was putting up some serious hurt. That's translated across into Mirage. Is it going to be enough to save the day here for Boom? You can see an investment from Isurus, but outside of this hero AK and pistols, our main focus is on a buy in the following round. They've kept enough money for that. Noxy, I was going to say, I don't know how long he's going to stay alive for. It was a bit of a mystery how he was able to get out. That nade has just done so much damage, and with it, the round might just draw to a close. It's the walking wounded in towards the B bomb site. Now just one man left. Put down 12 on the board for Boom.
Yep. Just 3 rounds away from overtime. Boom can push us there. How that would fare for Isurus sitting on match point, if we were to get to there, would certainly be a little bit of a traumatic experience because you get timeout come in, and that's going to give a little bit of breathing room to both sides.
If this goes OT, Isurus are going to be kicking themselves, right? Not only a 10-round half in the, 11-4 half on the CT side, but you know, they got the pistol here on T as well. They weren't able to convert it. Boom put together a force that followed with 5. It's been back and forth since that point, but if Isurus dropped the ball here and it went to OT, oh dear, I think my money would be on Boom for that one. Overtime it is typically where the underdog starts to struggle because strap put goes out the window and things get a lot more loose at times. And Boom, they've certainly got the individuals to support that play style. That's one thing they showed us back on Nuke. Lots of top site hits, lots of fast, explosive action. If you did miss that opening map of this series, I recommend you go back and watch it. It was a lot of fun. But this one is certainly closer, certainly tighter as Isurus look to take us to Inferno. 1 round would do it. They have 3 chances to find it.
Yeah, 3 strikes, and you're not out, but you're in. OT. Top mid control looking to get taken here by the Isurus side as they wait there with Noxy and the Lynx. Just holding early on. Now, Shiz is over towards the Palace, and he's looking a bit antsy. I can see him moving around there on the minimap, and he might want to try and explore this avenue a bit if he doesn't hear anything anytime soon. And there was a timing where he could have gotten into Palace. If he goes forward anytime now, though, it is now being pressured by Deco on the other side. So we have a bit of a standoff, and timing is really everything here. You know, neither player knows that the other is in this forward position. And Shiz makes the right play to just bide his time, not overextend. Into the Palace. Smoke's now going over. Isurus looking to go for just this standard A-side play. Standard might not cut it when you're up against the likes of Boom. The flash is so good, but there's the trade from 1962 at the very, very least. Nades finding a healthy bit of damage. Yell just ducking his way out of danger there from Noxy as he tries to get up for the Palace peak. Smoke's now starting to dissipate. They've taken so long to get into the site that these smokes have faded, and Bolts is going to chain together 3 to put a 13th on the board. This comeback now feels more doable than ever.
Hugo, let's look at this. Let's examine this from a different perspective here. Isurus, they have been absolutely beat on here for about 3 rounds in a row. And you could tell right there when they started to posture towards B, there was a little bit of something going on within the camp where they're like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea. Let's back out. They go to A, and ultimately that doesn't go their way either. So right now, Boomer keeping them on the back foot, but on the other side of aggression and hitting shots.
Yeah, it's a point I brought up earlier, but this has been a recurring factor for Isurus on Mirage. They've had a lot of games played on this map, and they've only won 1 of them. But of all the games they've lost, they have been close matches that Isurus have bottled. We're talking 3 overtime losses in the last 3 months. We're talking 16-14s. We're talking 16-12s. Really close games. But Isurus, they've been here before, and they've lost these games before. And right now, it's looking like a similar situation. It's looking like Boom want the 2-0.
Oh, man,
via any means necessary. This cat play is good, though. You say it yourself, timing. No one spotted this. No one knows that the B play about to come through. They're going to get the info with a flashbang. Bolts drops a bomb. Everyone knows what's going on. It's just about hitting the shots, and they are in high supply for Boom. Kills separating everywhere, and Bolt's going to get 3. Noxy trading back. He's got a chance of the AK in the clutch, but immediately removed by Cello. Not playing any games, not waiting around. Boom. This is it. It's what we've all been coming back for. 15-14, round number 30, overtime or Inferno.
The big 3-0. The 30th round, that pinnacle round. We're going to see if we go to overtime or do we go to Inferno. That's what's on the cards. That's the only 2 things on the menu for dinner tonight.
Isurus have a lot of money, right? They've ecoed for this point, so I'd love to see what they showed us earlier on in the half, which was that double util B fake with Cello coming in lower. Obviously, it depended on Cello getting the kills, but once he did, Isurus did lose that round, but they showed us a really nice bit of decision-making. Not Cello, rather. But either way, Yell, he's going to get that AWP pick. Man advantage for Boom right when they needed it most.
Yeah. And you really look at this, you look at how these rounds have been panning out here for the recent past. And this really does have overtime written all over it, unless Isurus can do something magical here in the connector. And so far, Shiz has plans of his own. 2 headshots for him, make it 3. Will he make it 4? No, it doesn't even matter. Deco can't quite stick it to him as Yell's AWP is going to be the one that puts the final kill in the round and takes us to overtime. My goodness, Harry Russell, have you ever seen anything like it?
Yeah, I mean, we have actually seen something just like this, right? With Isurus yesterday taking on Imperial. The first map in that series was Dust 2, and it went to overtime there. And of course, as we learned, Imperial were the ones to pick that up. And as we got into the OTs, the pressure started to get to the Isurus guys a little bit. Now, in this situation, you can't even begin to imagine the nerves they must be feeling, right? Because they've done the one thing they didn't want to do, and that's let Boom start to get comfortable again.
Dear.
There was a time where they had Boom on the ropes, and they felt very uncertain, very unsure about going for a lot of these plays. And right now, they're looking more confident than ever. All the shots are connecting, and Boom might just take the first in OT if Reversive can't put on a clinic, and he cannot. The doctor is in, and it's Yell on the other side. Boom, 16-15 here as they take the first in OT. And response, tack pause from Isurus, their last remaining. They're going to try and mold this one over and figure out a solution to this problem.
What's always so hard in overtime when you're the team that's been losing, you're the team that hits 15 first and then drops the ball, is that boom, they stay on CT, they keep the momentum that they've been grinding these last 5 or so rounds. They won 5 rounds in a row from 15-10 to get to OT, and well, boom, and immediately open up. For the side of Isurus, you're just going back into more weaponry, more money for Boom, and you're playing the same side that you've been struggling to get rounds on for the last 15 rounds anyway. It's really, overtime really plays in the hand of the team that's coming back.
And yeah, exactly. It's so hard as well to sit there and go, okay, well, we had, a bunch of chances to close that out, but now let's play better than we did in those 3 rounds leading up to it.
When we're up against more.
Yeah, exactly. There's now more going against us, and the pressure is on us more than ever. So they don't want this lead to have eluded them. That looked like a dead-to-rights kill for Noxy, but not enough. Not quite. Damage done by Cello in response. Smoke goes down in the window, and Isurus this time looking to pressure this mid control. We've seen a lot, especially in these last few rounds, of just desperation A plays and set pieces. Finally, a bit more of a default in this round as they spread out, try and take some map control early on in this one.
Yeah, that damage done to Noxy and Lynx early on in the round is going to be enough to force a fight here out of window. Cello wasn't done. He almost gets away from the molly. After getting 2, he's done enough, and it's Lynx's Molotov that takes him out. Meanwhile, Shiz on the timing play will also play himself.
He walked into that angle without clearing it. That was a bit of a weird one. I feel like he completely discounted the chance of someone being there.
Oh, yeah, 1962 is so trapped in the window. Yell. Getting dinked from ramp, but it's only for 12 damage. Reversive, almost with the timing, and he does flick back to deal with bolts. Phelps is just biding his time, and right now they have Isurus pincered, but that's not the case anymore. Deco turns it on its head and puts a 16th on the board for Isurus. Somehow, some way, they get control in that round once again, and now tie us up, approaching the last round of the first half of OT. And, I just think the scariest thing is for Isurus, there was a time where you could tell that Boom were missing the shots that they've just been so good at hitting, right? That they were lacking that confidence. And I think they maybe came into this map overconfident and then kind of had that turn against them, right? Because in the beginning, they were taking all these peaks. They go A for basically 15 rounds straight. These are these are things that start to scream overconfidence in the beginning. And then as the rounds aren't coming in, you start to doubt yourself. You start to realize that you've given this away. So Isurus had Boom right where they wanted them. But now Boom are looking just as confident as they were back on Nuke, right? They're taking these overzealous peaks. They're taking these gunfights straight up. Cello's 2K in that round prior is a great example of that. So this isn't going to be an easy street for Isurus, and that's going to be even more props their way if they're still able to pick this map up. They start to try and take the apartments control. Bolts is here, and that one shot getting fired off gives away his position, but it's not to matter. He holds the line.
Worth noting that flashbang actually hits Reversive as he's trying to come through the corner, and that's what stops him. It not only blinds him, but it gives audio to Bolt. So, yeah, he may have fired, but it goes both ways, really. Luckily, it's traded, and Isurus keep things in the 4-on-4. Yell, playing ramp like he owned it, but he never cleared that position. Luckily, Shiz has. He's got 2 from the site. Lynx is coming in late with a lot of kills to his name and the bomb on his back. He can't afford to die on his own. And a good decision from Shiz to just lock in, not giving away anything here. He knows Cello has his cross covered. He knows he can't die as long as he stays hidden behind this box. And so, 25 seconds, Lynx needs to cross to the site. He has a smoke to do so, but Cello is waiting.
Oh, but he does hit the shot on the guy in Palace, and that's going to create an interesting situation as we look towards this next half of overtime. Boom find themselves up currently just a few rounds from winning this grand final.
And of course, for those wondering, the result of that, this doesn't necessarily mean that Boom have qualified for Rio. It doesn't mean Isurus can't qualify for Rio. There'll be multiple qualifiers over the course of 2020 to see who's going to be making it to Rio in November. So don't worry. There's always more chances. But every matchup matters because you're picking up points to add to your tally. And this Boom roster looks like it could be a terrifying one in this year. This 2-0 victory would certainly cement that, and 2 rounds away from doing so. They did have a rough first half though, right? It's what got us here in the first place. They got the pistol, they converted to a 3-0, and they found one more round in that entire half.
Something I'm loving though is already it's not just an A play, right? Out of spawn, that's what they were doing so much back on the T side. And I think that ties into the mixture of like overconfidence and then realizing, oh my goodness, we're letting this one slip away from us, right? And that kind of dawned on them a little too late. You know, it does feel like overconfidence can be a bigger undoing than, you know, when you are like the team just getting wrecked, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Like, you can sometimes give rounds over.
It's your own kryptonite.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like it's the one thing that you have that, you know, really you can unlock and really be at your own detriment.
Oh my, it's absolutely heating up here. Reversive has nowhere to go but death. The Molotovs surround the site and the flash is good to find the player and spawn. It is traded. The Orc for Yell cutting off a rotation and Boom back in the advantage with the bomb in their favor. Isurus was so good at the retakes, but so often they were in the advantage while coming in. Well, now, nothing like it. 3-on-1. Deco, he's had a dominant game, but he might just have to save as Boom have locked in the first round on this T side.
Man, saving in overtime, that is brutal, right? Especially because there's a chance you only get to play one more round. And yeah, I think that's quite a good sign of the times. He doesn't even get away with the AWP. So an 18th round on the board for Boom. Map series championship point now in favor of the Brazilians. They've been able to make this comeback happen here on Mirage from going 11-4 down at the half, 12-4 down at one point in time. They've now taken us to OT and they sit on the finish line. Are they going to have the same nerves, the same problems at getting over it? Or is this going to be Boom running away with this here and now? They look to take mid control with a run boost. Let's see it. Come on, Yell. Let's go. Whoop! Over he goes, but no one in the window. Nobody there. This is still mid control taken for the Boom side, and a bit of aggression in towards Palace doesn't give them an advantage. Noxy now has to fall on back in towards CT.
I mean, you know, the only positive for Isurus is if they do lose this in overtime, they can add this game to the almost trophy cabinet of all those Mirage OT losses. This will be their 4th in 2020.
One of those days. One of these days, rather. Let's see what Boom have up their sleeve for potentially the last round of the game here. Just one round separating them. So if you want to show some love to the connector side of things, over there currently towards that side is going to be Reversive and Noxy. They're about to have a whole lot of unwanted guests here on this site. Reversive with the first frag. He's not alone. Noxy actually getting it done there. And Cello, well, he's got some words to say for himself. This has gotten really hairy.
Oh, a couple of missed shots from Yell at the worst possible time. And it has fallen apart in this one. 17-18. Double overtime or bust for Isurus. This is the game that keeps on giving. Reinvestment back for both teams. There's no real monetary problems. 1962 is able to drop guns around along with the rest of the team. So everyone is armed, everyone is dangerous into this round.
Does Deco have a drop?
Gun? Yeah,
okay. I was going to say, 34 kills and playing UMP would not have been
I've absolutely loved watching him on the org. He is looking so good with it. And as we've seen, the South American region, usually pretty ahead of the curve when it comes to these little meta adjustments. We kind of saw, you know, Furia really popularizing the Krieg. Now Deco's trying to get the org back in the conversation. I think, you know, after it's kind of semi-buff / nerf to scoped, I think, you know, there's a good case that we see it get picked up more and more. In this round, man advantage for Isurus, mid control taken by the Boom side. They are a man down for it. At least they've got something to show for their troubles. They try and take Catwalk here with a con smoke down. Deco holds the line, albeit briefly. A flash for 1962, and that bomb is dropped. Yell, we saw him missing these shots in Connector last time around. And a 1v4 is where he finds himself now. He cannot afford to miss again. And there's the first man struck from the tally. Yell still has a lot more to do before he can shout about this round to anyone. Oh, and another now. Yell, 2 players left to find. There's definitely a chance. 1962 and Noxy left in the runnings. Yell made this convincing thus far, but misses the timing there. Double overtime as this game continues. 18-18, the magic number we're now looking for is 22.
That is the case. We're back on level playing field here, as is what brings a second overtime. Good valiant effort there from the side of Boom to try to lock that one out, but ultimately Yell just couldn't get it done.
This is a good spot for Isurus now, though, right? Now they're on the CT side, the one that did them so well in the first place. So, Boom, this is where things could start to get difficult again. They could start to struggle. Can't afford to be the case. In all those OT rounds, all they did was split A through connector. It was far better than their regulation A hits, right? Slower, more calculated, taking connector, cutting off those rotations before they planted. But yeah, it was again just the same thing. And oh, what are they doing here? It's again the same thing. And I think this, of course, it's what Boom are comfortable with, but now Isurus know what to expect, and they've been doing it all game long. A heavy A setup now, 3 players here. Phelps, so free kill. Noxy is not ready for connector, and Deco has to trade. He has to keep something going here in this round. Luckily, 1 kill and surviving. His teammate low, but also still up. Bomb pod is open, but the molly actually pushes Deco into the fight. Bolts can trade, but it won't matter. The round is not his, it's Isurus's.
And Isurus is an Isurus does. And that's a shark. So what do sharks really do? They put up a 19th on the board. The magical number from the last half of OT, but now it's 22. And now to Taylor Swift in sight. We're going to see who gets to it first.
Yeah, back on the AWP. 1962 wanting to take a bit of a risk into overtime. I like their confidence. Pushing towards the top and middle. Reversive drops the bomb on ramp. Meanwhile, the top mid push does get punished, unfortunately, for him, but it has kept things in a 4-on-4 level playing field. Reversive backing up on A, playing a little safer now that early kills have gone down, and Boom, finally going to be changing things up, going towards B. And here's the benefit, right, of now going B after so many A takes. There's no one here. Lynx is watching the cross, and he is fast in these fights, but if they get good flashbangs or smokes in the window, then there's not going to be much he can do. He should have a kill at bare minimum, but past that point, it's going to get difficult.
Yeah, but here's the problem, right? You've been very much kind of done in by your own bravado here if you're Boom. Every one of these A-side takes has been so fast, so, like, telegraphed. And so with no movement seen at the A-site, they've preemptively rotated players around here to B. Lynx is still in the site. He's behind Yell. He's dropped the bomb. They don't even know. They don't even know that he's here, and he's tearing them apart. Bolts is in with 2 of his own. This round is utter chaos. Noxy versus Bolts, and Bolts has done so much to keep the dream alive, and there we go. He carries on delivering. 19 on the board as Bolts carries them to a victory at the B bomb site, tying us up once again. And a reinvestment into the last of the first half of the second overtime of the second map in this grand final series. It's a bit of a mouthful, and justifiably so, because this has been one hell of a game thus far.
That it has, Harry, and if there's one thing we know, it's Boom goes the dynamite. And in this round, well, certainly it got scary there. Lynx hitting some of those shots that we saw yesterday. And it's just not enough, though, at the end of the round. So 19-19, quick underpass play here. Noxy up close, only good for 1 on the cello. Things are starting to get a little scary around here for everybody involved.
Yeah, I like that play from Noxy, but you are very trapped after you take a shot with the AWP. Not going to get away with another. He was just hoping for a solo player coming down there. You don't often see 2 fast tees off of spawn drop under, but Boom wanted bottom mid. They won't get it after all. They're just going to chill now. Can go back to it later. Push back in the apartments. That is a risk from 1962, and he is not going to go any further, you would think. But even just taking fights with this MP9. Oh, he's going to find a player on his own with the bomb. Oh, that's a big kill. And he's just going to leave. 7 HP, no reason to hold on to the package. I like this decision as well. Will, of course, give Boom back the bomb, but they're going to spend ample time looking for that, I thought. But Bolts just immediately removes him from the round. And now aggression towards the T-spawn is being held. Phelps is here with his 37th kill of the game. And Boom, they're ready no matter where Isurus find themselves. 3-on-2. And for Isurus, it's just about gambling now.
Sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. In this case, it's overtime, so there isn't going to be any sort of hold-ems.
Oh, Lynx is going to hit that shot, but he's blind. Tries to duck back into CT, and Deco's won the fight out briefly, but Phelps gets that trade. Lynx, 15 points of health. This man has delivered us so many highlight clips in this map. Will this be another to add to the tally? No, it's not. Bolts with a double, and 20 on the board for Boom. 2 rounds is all they need to close this out. Isurus, they've got to go flawless on their T side if they want that to be the case.
This only feels fair. This only feels just, considering that G2 phase game hitting double overtime and single overtime in the second map as well. So yeah, they had their fair share of OTs, and now we get to join the party. How many will this go, though? Will Isurus be able to come back once again on the T side? It's been strong CT sides all game long in Mirage. Isurus are going to have to break the mold here if they want to keep things going, setting up for a full A side execute. 2 inside of the Palace. Cello's under dark, and he's got Shiz on the site as well. It's going to be delayed with the smoke down for Boom. And they just got to wait.
Yeah, standard set smokes into the A bomb site. Cello underneath, he's been double mollied. He's sitting in it, waiting for as long as he can. He does get dropped almost immediately. Yell and Shiz, though, they've taken the round into their hands, and they've tried to do what they can. They've got it back under wraps, but albeit briefly. Yell still putting up numbers, leaves reversive now in this clutch. 1v2 required, and the nade is perfect from Bolts. 21-19, match, series, championship point once again. Lying with Boom and the boys.
Such good utility on that A side, right? Not just the grenades that go out towards a ramp as Isurus hit it, but Shiz behind the triple. That is wall bangable. You shouldn't see him get away with more than one. Not only does he get one, but then he gets flashed in for more and finds so much damage before he's eventually shot through the smoke.
That guy stays alive for so long.
Yes.
So long.
Too long, Trace. Far too long.
Something of the sort. Either way, we have him back on the AWP, and he is posted up looking for a pick here in middle. But that smoke is dropped. It's going to give a little bit of a veil of movement. Just barely missing the shot. He's going to take some grenade damage, too. Meanwhile, Phelps peeking off Catwalk with his 39th kill. This could very well be the end for Isurus in the bracket.
Oh, dear.
They have been absolutely melted here, and it's 1962. What can he do? 2 kills to his name, nowhere else to go. And there will be no championship fame here for the side of Isurus. Boom Esports have secured the W here in this South American bracket for the ESL 1 Road to Rio. We're going to go to break, come back, break it all down for you all. So make sure you're here with us when we return.